Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. So in today's video, I'm going to be filming another makeup tutorial for you guys. I really wanted to film a tutorial using a red lipstick today. I don't know why, I've just been having like red in my head for a lip for the longest time ever. And today is the day where I actually have time to sit down and film a tutorial. So I'm like, okay, today is the day I'm going to film that red lipstick look. So if you guys want to see how I achieved my end result, then just keep on watching. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull my hair out of my face just because I really can't stand when my little baby hairs fall on my face. I don't know why, I just hate that. Drives me insane. And hopefully you guys are good there. And let me zoom you guys in. And I'm just going to skip this part, so next clip you're going to see is me with my eyebrows already done. Alright guys, so eyebrows are done, and now I'm going to just move on to my eyes. I freaking finally found a Tarte shade concealer. I switched it over to the shade Light Sand. I actually swatched this at the Ulta store, the testers that they had. It looked like it was a pretty good match, so we'll see how this works. It's 2 shades darker than the previous one that I had, which was light neutral. And I just love this to prime my eyes with. It conceals all the little veins on my eyes perfectly. And I just like how it gives you just a flawless base to start working with eyeshadows. And also it doesn't make your eyeshadows look all weird when you start blending them in. Like some concealers will gunk up in your eye and then it form like little tiny balls. I don't know if that's just me, but that happens to me with some concealers. But this one and my MAC Pro Longwear one are my 2 favorite concealers like ever. And to help blend that out, I'm just going to be taking this Morphe E8 brush, and I'm just going to take it and start pouncing it all over my eyes. And this is very light still, but I hate concealers that are too dark for me because I feel like they don't really do much in brightening my under eyes. So I feel like this is going to be a lot better than Fair Neutral, which was the one that I used to have. That one was like stark white on me. This one I feel like has more of a yellow undertone to it. So I feel like it's going to be a little bit better. We'll see though once we get to the under eyes. And now I'm just going to be taking this Marc Jacobs INSTA MARC 40 Mirage filter. It's just one of these. It has a contour shade and a yellow banana shade. I'm just going to take that yellow banana shade in here. And I'm taking that on this Morphe M521 brush, and I'm just going to be setting that concealer with this so nothing will budge. Because if you don't set your concealer once you apply it on your eyes, when you go to add other eyeshadows to it, it's going to be very streaky because different shades that you add onto your eyes, it's going to pick up in different places that your concealer is still wet and not set down. So it's going to start looking very streaky, and that's why a lot of people, I feel like they have problems whenever they first add concealer and then just go straight into eyeshadow. They can't really blend it right because obviously it got stuck to some of that wet concealer that was already applied. But if you just take your time and set it really well before going in with other eyeshadows, you're not going to have any of those problems. Alright, now I'm going to go back to an old trick that I used to do all the time. I'm just going to take some Scotch tape and I'm going to take some actually off. Oh, hold on. I'm just going to align the tape to, like if I was doing winged eyeliner, so align it from my end of my eye all the way up into the tip of my eyebrow. And I'm going to do the exact same thing on the opposite side. Just going to align it. And this is a really great tip also if you're doing a winged eyeliner. If you apply Scotch tape first, it's going to give you a really nice guideline as to where your winged eyeliner is supposed to go. Now I'm going to be taking my Shade and Light Kat Von D eye palettes, and I'm just going to be working. Let's see, I'm going to be taking this shade right here. It's called Latinus. I swear all the names she uses in all of her things are just so hard to pronounce. I feel like they are in Latin, so maybe that can be why, but I don't know. It's just a little guess. And I'm just going to be taking this on the outer part of my eye and just blending it a little bit inward. I'm not going to do anything crazy on my eyes today, so I just want to add a little bit of dimension in there. Okay, and once I have that initial color down, I'm going to move on to the shade that is right next to it, right here. And this shade is called Citri. Oh, and I'm taking that on a crown brush. This is a pointed crease brush. And I'm just going to be applying that to my outer corner and blending it inward as well, just for some depth. And I'm running this along my lash line as well. And I'm taking a little bit more into that crease, but nothing too crazy. Right, now taking that exact same shade, I'm just going to go in with this Anastasia Beverly Hills dual-sided brush. This is the one that comes in all of her eyeshadow palettes. And I'm taking that exact same shade, but that really, really pointed end on that brush. And I'm going to keep this color as close to my lash line as possible, just for some depth in there. And some of that nice smoky look. This isn't like a smoky eyeshadow look. I'm not going for that. I'm just trying to keep like a subtle smoky look. Alright, and now going right back into my Sigma E40 tapered blending brush. I'm just going to take this brush with no additional product and just blend everything we've done. Alright, and now taking this nice flat definer brush. This is the Morphe M432. I'm going to be going into the black shade in that palette. It is called Shacks. And I'm going to be taking this shade, and now this one, keeping it as close to my lash line as possible. Kind of like if you were doing eyeliner, but we're doing it with shadow, so it's not as hard. It's softer and more subtle than if I was just to go in with eyeliner. And now I'm just going to remove that tape because that is it for the eyes, guys. Super simple, nothing too crazy. I really just wanted to add some dimension into my eyes and just kind of create some depth so I wouldn't just have bare eyes, but I didn't want to go in with eyeliner, so that's why I did the tape trick, because it does give you that nice nice line. And now moving on to the face. So I'm going to be taking this Coconut Skin Smoothie Primer. This is just like a, what is this called? Trial? This is called? Travel size? I think it's travel size. I'm just going to take a little bit and put it in, basically in my entire T-zone, because that is the part where I need the most moisturized area, and also where my pores are the largest. Can't speak today. And of course a little bit on my forehead. This says it's supposed to be a Coconut Skin Smoothing Primer Moisturizer. So it's a moisturizer and it's also smoothing. We'll see about that. This is like my second or third time trying it. I'm actually really liking it. I love the smell of it. It smells very fruity. So, and I think that the times that I have tried it, I have liked how my skin feels. So that's a major plus. Alright, and now I'm going to be taking my e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush along with my Matte and Poreless Maybelline Fit Me Foundation. This one is in the shade 220. I love this foundation. I had it in a different shade and I wasn't able to wear it much because every time I wear it, I just have to bronze the heck out of my face because it was way too light. But I finally found my perfect shade. I bought another one and it was just too light still for me, but now I feel like this one, this shade, which is 220, is absolutely perfect. So all I'm doing is, because it doesn't have a pump, I take a couple of what is this called? I don't know. I just stick my finger in here. I kind of shake it to get some product out. And then I dot this on my face. Once I have a little bit of dots, I'll go ahead and take my brush and blend this into my skin. And notice how I'm pouncing the brush into my skin. I'm not really, you know, blending it out. I want to just pounce it in because I feel like it gives you a much more natural look, and it doesn't cake up or give you streak marks all over your face. I did just purchase the Jaclyn Hill palette. I'm so excited. That comes on Tuesday, so I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of looks using that palette very soon. And I'm so excited because I love all the shadows in that palette. I'm just so excited for that to come in. I haven't been excited for a palette in a while. Like, a lot of the new palettes that have been coming out, I've just been like, I haven't really been like, oh my gosh, I need it. But that one, I was just like, okay, no, I need it. And I missed the first launch of it. I was like in a seminar for work, and I had told my husband I wanted it, and I didn't have my phone on me, and it was in my purse. And then he texted me, and he's like, oh babe, did you end up getting your palette? And by the time that I saw that text message and I went online, it was sold out. I was so upset. I was like, no, I'm gonna forget, because I had told myself, I'm like, oh, I'll go to the restroom during the seminar and I'll go and purchase the palette. But I completely forgot, and I missed the launch. But I got the relaunch of it, so I'm excited for it to come. And it sucks though, because I've seen like other people that also ordered it during the relaunch. They've already received their palettes, and they live here in Miami, and I'm just like, why? Where's mine? Like, I want to film looks, but I can't. Oh, I just applied the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer to the places where I would normally highlight. And I'm using this Morphe G2 brush to help me blend out that concealer. Okay, yeah, I really like the shade. It's not as white as the other one, but it's not too dark for me yet. There was another shade. I kept on going between this one and the one that was one shade darker than this one, but the other shade was sold out. So I was like, whatever, you know what? This one will do. I swear. And when I was at that Ulta, there was so many people like hovering over the Tarte Shape Tape counter where they had all of these on. I was like, oh my goodness, like so many people are on this right now. I guess it really is an amazing concealer. Like, if you have not tried it, I highly recommend you do, because it's so good. Again, I don't say that just about any concealer, because I'm very picky with my concealers, just because my concealers always crease in my under eye like crazy. But with this one, oops, sorry. With this one, it's just amazing. I'm sorry for all these ugly faces that I make when I apply concealer. It's just so hard for me to get down there. And now I'm just taking my Coty Airspun powder and setting that concealer. Oh, and I'm using a makeup wedge to do this part. Okay, once that's done, I'm going to take some more on that makeup wedge and set my forehead. Because them crease lines, they ain't working for me. So I really want to get lip fillers. Like, it's been on my mind for a year now. I told myself that I'd do it last year for my birthday. My birthday's in December. And I told myself for my birthday, I'm going to gift myself, I'm going to do lip fillers. Just such a baby. I'm so scared. I absolutely hate needles. I don't think that there's a person, like a grown person out in the world, that hates needles as much as I do. I like, even when I have to get blood work done and stuff, I cringe at the thought of the needle. And I don't know if it's like something with me, but I've been told by doctors that it's like probably not a phobia, but it's like there is a word for it. A doctor told me when I was doing like my heart exam and EKG. The doctor was telling me, because I was telling him I almost passed out when they took blood work. I don't know, the nurse told him, and then he told me, he's like, oh, there's actually a word for that, and it's just whenever a needle goes into your body, your body goes into shock, because I fainted. I've fainted a good 3 times when I've gotten blood work done. It's horrible. Like, it sucks so much, because And it's weird also because I have so many piercings. I don't have all my piercings on right now, but I do have so many piercings. And those needles don't scare me, but when they take out blood, I don't know what it is. It's just my body goes crazy on me. And then I try, you know, I tell myself, oh, mind over matter. Don't worry about it. It's going to be okay. Like, you're fine. But I don't know. I can't control it. And I hate that I act like a baby, because then the nurses like look at me like I'm weird. But I don't know what to do about it. It's just me. Weird. Oh, and that, what I just applied to my face, sorry, I completely forgot to let you guys know, is the MAC Studio Fix Powder in NC35. And now I'm going to be taking this Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. And guys, this smells amazing. It smells so good. It smells like a tropical vacation. And I'm taking the Zoeva Luxie Face Definer Brush, the 101. And I'm going to use this to bronze up my face. This lately has been my favorite bronzer to bronze up my face. It does not have any shimmer in it. It is a matte powder, and it's so beautiful to bronze up your face. I feel like if you have a light complexion, this bronzer is so amazing. I have used Hoola before. I do have Hoola, and I don't know, guys, as much as I want to make Hoola work for me, it just doesn't. I feel like it looks so dark and so muddy on my face. I cannot make it work. And I'm not super fair either. So I don't know why. I've seen other people that kind of have like my same skin tone use Hoola, and it looks phenomenal on them. But Hoola just does not look good on me whatsoever. So let me know if you guys have that same problem with Hoola, because I don't know what it is about it for me. And I'm going kind of heavy with this bronzer, but YOLO. I love a really nice bronze look lately. Now to finish up contouring, I'm going to take my Anastasia Beverly Hills contour kit, and I'm just going to take the middle shade named Fawn that's inside this palette. And I'm taking my NARS Ita brush, and I'm just going to be contouring my cheekbones with this. I feel like I just love contouring and bronzing so much. Like, ooh, I cannot do or complete any makeup look without contouring or bronzing my face. It's like my favorite part of makeup. Okay, so now that I've done all of that, I'm just going to sweep off all of that powder underneath my eyes. Just sweeping it away. And on my forehead as well. And now I'm going to go back in with that Morphe E2 brush that I used to apply the MAC Studio Fix all over my face. And I'm not using any additional products, just whatever was left on that brush. I'm going to use it to just go ahead and blend out that white powder that was on my face, that translucent powder. Because even though it is translucent, I feel like it does leave a little bit of a cast. It's weird. It's very minimum. It doesn't even pick up in pictures, but I see it. I don't know. Is that weird? Oh wells. And I'm going to be taking that banana, no, not from this palette actually. I'm going to go back into my Marc Jacobs palette, take that same banana shade that we used to set our eyes, and I'm going to apply this underneath my eyes here. Just for a little bit extra pop. And for a little bit of extra coverage, because we can all use dates. Alright, so moving on to blush, I'm going to be taking my, what is this? This is Luminoso by Milani, and I'm taking my blush brush, which is a Morphe E4 brush. This is my favorite blush ever. Well, top 3 brushes. This is in my top 3. Because I have a couple MAC ones that I can't live without, like Warm Soul. But this is definitely up there as well, especially for drugstore. Before I move on to highlighting, I'm going to be taking MAC's Fix Plus, and I'm just going to spray my face because I do see that I'm getting a little bit dry. And now for highlighter, I'm of course going to be taking my Nicole Guerriero Glow Kit. I just can't stop using this glow kit, but I'm going to do something different. I'm only going to be using the shade Glow Getter N143. I always use Forever Young from the palette, which is this one, middle shade right here. But I'm going for a little bit more of a bronzier look. So I'm just going to take these two and apply it to the tops of my cheekbones. Look at that, guys. It's crazy how pigmented these are. And of course, the bridge of my nose, right here. My cupid bow. Just telling you guys, like, right here. Okay, so once I got that highlight down, I'm actually going to be taking my glow, what is this? My Moonchild Glow Kits. And for some extra pop, I'm going to be taking Blue Ice, which is right here. And the reason why I'm doing this is because the lipstick shade that I'm going to be using, even though it's a red, it does have like a bluey undertone to it. So I feel like using a blue undertone highlight will really help pop out the blues in the lipstick as well. So I'm just applying it right on top. And if you're not into that, like into this type of highlighter, because it is something different, by all means, you could totally skip this step. Just thought it'd be nice to like do something different. And I barely ever get to use this glow kit, and I love all these shades. It's just, you know, it's not an everyday glow kit, but whenever I do get a chance or feel like I can have a chance to use it, I definitely always do. So now with that done, I'm going to go back into my eye palette, my Shade and Light eye palette, and I'm going to be taking that brown shade right here, the Citri, I don't know, and back in with my Anastasia Beverly Hills brush, the one that I used before, taking that pointed end side, and I'm just going to be taking that shade and running it underneath my lash line, but very, very close to my eyelash line. This is not a smoky look whatsoever. As I mentioned, I just want to create some depth down there. So now you guys could totally leave the eyes just like this. It looks perfectly fine. It's actually a very, very nice subtle eye look, especially with no eyelashes. But because I feel bald without eyelashes, I know it's so horrible to say that because I used to hate wearing eyelashes, but ever since I started, I can't stop. It's a problem. I have a problem. I'm going to be taking the EYELURE VEGASNAY Fiercely Fabulous eyelashes, these right here. So I'm going to be applying these off camera, and I will be right back. Alright guys, now that my eyelashes are on, I'm going to be moving on to the final product, which is the lip, the most important part of this entire look. So I'm using ColourPop's Ultra Matte Lip in the shade Creeper. I absolutely love this color. I haven't tried it on my lips yet. I've just swatched it, and it swatched so beautifully. So I'm just going to be applying this to my lips. I'm not using lip liner or anything. I hardly ever do whenever I'm using matte lipsticks. Liquid lipsticks, but if you feel more comfortable with applying a lip liner beforehand, by all means, go ahead. Alright guys, so with the lips complete, that's it for this makeup tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!